comes to supermodels, we all know that Cindy Crawford is beautiful and she's successful and she's a lovely person as well. She's been modeling for over 30 years. Her career began in high school when she signed with an agency at age 17. Well, apparently looks clearly run in the family. Now her 14-year-old daughter is making a splash with her first fashion campaign. She's 14 years old. Her name is Kaia. Critics are saying that she looks too sexy too soon. What do you think?
So I didn't look like who looked like that at 14? And not me. I had braces, I had a perm,
And
I had glasses.
you.
I think the issue is not even that she can look like that. She looks great, but she looks way too old, and she's not enjoying her youth, and other children are looking up to her. At 14,
She's not enjoying her youth.
At 14, I don't think that's a good image for young girls to see someone looking so older.
There are other fashion models who have started at that age. I mean, when I look at
Absolutely. That's not too sexy to me. I mean, she was fully dressed. Yes, she's showing legs. It's
completely out. She's way too
I think that's classy.
And you guys can disagree about it, but what happens is other 14-year-olds look at that and say, that's what I have to look like. And most 14-year-olds do not look like that. And that's very young. That's just out of 8th grade.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's really
like, look
not...
at that. That does not look 14.
Wow. But she's not a regular 14. You didn't look like that. I didn't look like that. Yeah, that's her.
She's stunning, by the way.
But Megan, it's the nature of the industry that she's chosen to be in. She's going into the modeling industry. That's 14 is actually, sadly, not that young. I mean, you look at girls like Cara Delevingne. She started when she was 10. She had her first feature in Italian Vogue. Wow. Think about people like Naomi Campbell, right? She's been around for decades. She's gorgeous. She was discovered at 15 years old.
We're noticing it because it's Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Yeah, but it happens all the time. She's got two gorgeous parents. You know what I mean? Of course she's going to look like that.
Close.
And they're
I've
super
actually
close.
been around them a lot and throughout my career, and they're such a loving family. And I knew since she was a little girl, like, she is going to be a model one day.
But you do understand, nobody's diminishing whether she's a lovely girl, whether she's beautiful or her family is beautiful. I'm talking about the image that these young girls are seeing on how they have to be so mature so soon.
Here's the thing. You can't change that entire industry, and little girls learn self-esteem in the home. So if you do a good job with your young girls,
that's true, but they also learn it from the things that they see.
Listen, but it's your job to instill confidence.
Jenner and all of them are very influential to young girls. They're all doing these things with their lips. I mean, let's just be real. Let's keep some examples of what it looks like to be a young girl as well.
That is something as a mother. You do that with your sisters. You do that with your
There are plenty of examples of that. I mean, look at Nickelodeon and Disney. There are examples of that. I mean, she just happens to be in the fashion industry now, and good for her. Go model your booty off.
Well, she's certainly gorgeous. Nobody was asking me to model at 14.
No, definitely not me.
Okay, you know that saying, and baby makes 3. Well, soon enough, it could be baby makes 4. Scientists conducting experiments with sperm and egg cells from 3 different people to make a single embryo have been approved by the medical community. A 3-parent baby could pave the way for people with a high risk or rare genetic disease to have healthy children. It basically involves creating a hybrid egg from 2 women. The mother's nuclear DNA is removed because there are issues with it, and then it's placed in the egg cell of another woman, and then a father's sperm is used to fertilize it, and the resulting embryo would be mostly the genetic child of the 2, but without some of the genes that could cause problems.
I got a headache just listening to that. I mean...
But they're removing that nuclear DNA that can cause problems from the mother's egg, taking that out, then putting the rest of her egg in the donor egg, and that some of the genes from the donor egg will then become part of this person that will be born eventually.
The DNA that they're removing, is it like DNA that could cause cancer or carry certain genetic mutations?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but...
But that's what it does.
I think what they're doing is, if we all knew, if one of us carried a gene for like Lou Gehrig's or cystic fibrosis or something, and we knew we had that gene and we could eliminate possibly passing that down to our children, I think we would. It's like you want to protect your kids from anything. I think that's what we're trying to do.
But I think what's going to happen is that people will go overboard and they'll start saying, well, I want this and I want that.
Well,
and start having these
designer
custom-made children.
babies, yeah.
And it's very scary. My biggest concern is if I did something like that, who do I sue for child support? Because there's so many people involved in this kid.
But I like this. I mean, I love this science. This is going to help so many people have babies with, IVF. And, if God gave us the knowledge to be able to weed out these certain diseases, why not do it?
See, I think it's conflicting because I don't want to play God. You know, that for me, that's crossing the line.
I agree.
I give my child the best advantage. it's always the same case. Science and ethics don't necessarily always match up in time. So.
Well, I mean, like, ethics, whatever. Like I said, God gave us the ability to figure this out. I think he's saying, figure it out. We want healthy babies.
Well, the medical community is saying that, too, because they're going to go ahead and try to research this more, yeah. We all like a good drive. I'm really switching gears here. We all love a good drive-through for burgers and fries, but what about a drive-through for marijuana? Oh, of course, this audience, yeah.
That woman's like, yeah.
You better get in your car now, because the drive-thru is in Oregon, all right? Residents in Oregon, where recreational marijuana is now legal, will soon be able to get their pot without leaving their car, as Gold Beach's drive-thru is set to open April 20th. And it'll be there are drive-ins for pot right now, but it's medical pot, but you need a prescription. This is just fun pot, I guess. Recreational pot, yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I like to get my Moses in the burning bush on every now and then. And look, you can tell I get the munchies a lot.
That's another phrase.
But, you know, here's the thing. I know sometimes I think you're disoriented when you have this thing. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I think I'm doing all these amazing things, and I realize I just been standing there for 20 minutes. Yeah. So I'm not really comfortable with somebody, because you know they're going to smoke in their car, and then I don't think it's a safe thing. I think it's very dangerous.
Well, what's the difference between going inside the door 5 feet away or just getting it from the window? They're going to smoke it no matter what in the car if they're going. I mean, I hope you don't smoke.
But don't you like to see what you're buying? I like to go into a store. I like to.
You don't do a drive-in for food?
I don't do a drive-in for food. I like to get out of my car.
This is for the regulars. Growing up, I grew up on the border.
The regulars.
The regulars.
Yeah.
So if
like
you know,
well, like me,
well,
am I regular?
if you know the type, I guess you want, and then you can go through the drive-thru like, give me the regulars.
I thought you meant like regular people.
The regs.
The regs, not the celebs.
But this is no different from. I grew up on the border of Louisiana, and in Louisiana, you have drive-through Daiquiri Worlds, beer barns, that type of stuff. Yeah. And I remember there's a place called Daiquiri World where they would give you a daiquiri, but as long as the paper was on the straw, it was legal to give it to you. You can drive with it. Because you're not going to take it off and drink it at all.
Oh. Yeah. They still have those?
They still have those.
This is why I don't drive through certain places. I fly over them. Because that sounds crazy as hell.
Sounds delicious.
Okay, moving on. If you're looking for love or just some company, there is no shortage of dating sites obviously out there. But if you're not getting the results or responses you'd hope for, would you pay for a date? There's a new dating service called Ooh La La. It is now connecting men and women willing to go on paid date. Recently launched in New York City after debuting in Germany, men who seek a date create a profile with their desires, state how much they are willing to pay, and then put requests out to find a woman who is interested. It sounds like an escort service, but
it's prostitution.
They claim it isn't, but I don't understand how it isn't.
Because it's confusing. You're paying someone a fee up front, and then you pay for the date.
For a date,
For
and
a date,
happens.
you pay him a fee, which sounds prostitution.
You mean as opposed to an escort service where you pay up front for everything? I don't know.
No, I'm just saying it's asking. I'm just validating what you're saying.
I think what they're saying, there's no guarantee that anything is going to happen after the date. But if you're paying a girl $500, $700 as a guy, I'm guessing you think something's going to go down.
You're definitely going to get a meal and another meal.
Yeah.
Are we saying meal?
Would you respond to this kind of app?
Absolutely. I would. Really? Yeah, and my going rate is $750 for you men out there.
$7 or $700?
$750. Okay.
I would be so scared to
because you know the money gets involved. You know the safe.
I mean, they should just go ahead and legalize prostitution and regulate it.
But it's not
because they're doing it anyway, and it's
what is it?
So what is it?
Sometimes people
it's
just
prostitution.
It's motivation. You know, to date someone.
Change of.
But how is that transactional? Do you hand cash? Do you do PayPal? Do you do Squarespace?
You probably do a swipe card.
Like what? How do you do
Well, hopefully they put it on my Starbucks card because I'm running low.
Tax regulation.